Now we'll move on to the packaging instructions module. Sales order booking. Please select a product. The product description, plant throughput, case per pallet, first hour norms are automatically displayed. Please enter the sales order quantity. Enter the product completion date. Select shift set, single or multiple. The shift details are generated. The production will end just before the production completion date. It is observed that the last date of production is just 1 day earlier to the production completion date. There is an option to start the job either from the beginning of the shift time or the end. If the job is started from the beginning of the shift time, then forward calculation is done by the system, or else backward calculation is done. Usually Saturdays and Sundays are off, but in case of workload we can include them. If we include Saturdays and Sundays, the production start date will be shifted to any following date and so on. For making the production process faster, we can also include additional working hours as OT. There is also an option to change a shift on any given date. If we can see a message that production can be started on or after the due date due to non-availability of the materials, we need to decrease the lead time accordingly. In delivery schedule, if a particular delivery quantity is entered, then the delivery date would be generated accordingly. However, we can increase it. If the total delivery quantity is more than the production plan quantity, a message would be displayed as maximum delivery quantity will be less than or equals to production capacity. Now we move on to the WIP tab. WIP materials are those materials needed for the production process. The WIP details are as follows: material code, material description, UOM, per unit quantity required for production, consumed quantity for WIP, available stock, quantity in transit, shortfall, lead time in days, and to be placed PO. The other materials are also displayed in the same manner. Now let's move on to the equipments tab. As we can observe that the available packing room is displayed, the available production line will automatically be displayed according to the production schedule. If it is not displayed, we need to choose the available production line. However, this can be changed. All these equipments are needed for this process. However, we can include or exclude any of them. Let's move on to the labor tab. For this entire process, the following skill sets are required with the given quantities. However, we can include or exclude any of them. Testing. The testing process have been displayed here. We can include or exclude any part of this testing process. Now let's move on to the norms tab. Unit per cases, case per pallet, average cost per person, target labor, plant labor, standard throughput, plant throughput, standard price, target plant, standard labor team, plant labor team, and first hour norms. All these details have been defined in the product norms. If we change the plant throughput, the entire production plan gets affected. Now let's move on to plan and pallet. This is the forecast production period. The start year, the start week, the start date, is displayed along with the end year, end week and the end date. In the left pane, the week-wise planned quantity is displayed, and in the right pane, the date and shift-wise production quantity is displayed. Charges. Here, the other charges can be added by the user. The date, reference, description, due date, value, PO number, contact, invoice number, invoice date and type. Let's move on to memos. Here the user is able to add some memos. If we save the details in the sales order, an email would be sent automatically to the respective users who are related to the sales order. The provisional PO can also be viewed. Now we are moving on to the production plan. Weekly production plan inquiry. Select customer, all or individual. The calendar year is displayed. Enter the start week, the number of weeks considered in plan. End week. You can select a customer or you can opt for all. The production plan for all the weeks are displayed. For a particular product and week, corresponding sales orders are displayed. However, this can be modified. When you right-click on a particular week, you can add remarks and choose colors to identify it. The sales revenue is also displayed for the entire period. In the same way, hours required, hours valuation and valuation of materials consumed is displayed for all the weeks mentioned above. All these individual tab details can be exported to an Excel sheet. Let's move on to weekly production schedule inquiry. Calendar year, week, start date, end date. Select a packing room. For the particular week and packing room, all the sales orders along with line, code, team and production schedule is displayed. All these details can be printed and exported to an Excel sheet. Let's move on to the control sheet. In the weekly production schedule, all the sales order along with day-wise production schedule is displayed. However, you can select one and modify it. The WIP and other materials requirement tab. The sales orders along with WIP and other materials and their day-wise requirement schedule is displayed. In the labor or team tab, for the individual sales orders, the day-wise labor requirement is displayed. Similarly, in the purchase order tab, day-wise purchase quantity schedule is displayed. All these individual tab details can be exported to an Excel sheet.